Next up on the Straight Up R&D Podcast.
Why is it border security is a right-wing talking point and the Democrats don't agree and want to get behind it? Like shutting off the borders, deporting the criminals and people who committed crimes in the U.S. Like why is that looked at as evil and such a bad thing? We are not a nation if we don't have border security and follow the laws of people who's coming into this country and vetting who's coming into this country. I feel like that's just a logical thing to do. It's like, all right, people want to come to the U.S., but let's vet them properly and make sure they're not criminals and make sure they're not bringing drugs into the country. And basically just, have laws on what it takes to become a U.S. citizen to come into the country. Like, why is that such a bad thing? And the thing about it used to be a left-wing talking point. Yo, what's good, y'all?
Yo, what's good?
Welcome back to another episode of Straight Up R&D Podcast. This is episode 47. I'm one of your hosts, D.
And I'm Rich.
And man, we got a jam-packed episode. This is a celebration episode. This is a new America episode.
This is to new beginnings.
Fucking beginnings.
This is to new beginnings, honestly, because
it's crazy this day has finally come.
It's. Let me just get through the intro first. We're gonna give it to you real raw, uncut, straight up. Opinions based on motherfucking facts. The number one rule on this podcast is we obviously don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Definitely not today.
You know what I'm saying? And like D said, this is episode 47. No pun intended.
It's very fitting for the topic of discussion today.
But hey, it just so happened to work out to be 47.
I know. No, yeah.
I ain't making it up. Y'all see the videos.
Yeah, I see the videos.
It came out to be like this. But hey, I just want to shout out Martin Luther King, R.I.P., one of the fallen soldiers that pushed for a lot of change in this country. And not only for the United States, but globally. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of the founding fathers of the civil rights movement, you know what I'm saying, amongst all the other greats like Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, and many, many, many more. So yeah, let's get into it now.
Y'all, so the day has finally come. President Donald Trump is the 47th president. He's been inaugurated, and right now, what day is it now? Day 3 of his presidency?
Yeah, it's January 23rd.
Yeah, it's day 3, and he went to fucking work on day 1. But let's start off with the inauguration first with our thoughts.
Yes.
So you go ahead, bro. What's your thoughts on inauguration day?
Yeah, so inauguration day is an interesting one. This is the first one that I even known of being indoors.
Right.
I think they did a good job in terms of like reorganizing everything to be indoors. I know the staff probably had a hard long time about that because last minute, it's too cold.
Yeah, had to rearrange
it. But it was cool. Seeing all the other presidents beforehand. And I felt like it was like a different, with Trump doing his executive orders in front of the crowd. Like
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that, that type of style of thing. So it was a bit different, out of the norm.
Yeah, everything with him is out of the norm.
It was just all crazy. But I mean, overall, it seemed pretty, like a good service. It was put well together.
Yeah, everybody was respectful.
Except for a few.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We're gonna get into that, but I did not watch, the inauguration performances in terms of like the rappers. I was not interested in that at all.
Yeah, that came later on that night. Doing other stuff at that point.
Yeah, I was like, yo, let's get to the policies. Let's get to see what he's actually gonna do, what he's not gonna do, what he's gonna say, or whatever promises he's kept. But overall, it was good. A lot of other crazy things that we're gonna get into. But before we get any deeper, what did you think about Inauguration Day?
No, I thought it was good too. Yeah, it was inside, and I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, he's switching it to inside because Trump is afraid of a small crowd coming. It shouldn't matter how cold it is. But, I mean, you know, if anybody that's in New York, it's been extremely cold, like deadly cold outside.
The coldest day was 19 degrees.
Yeah, it was really cold. I remember I even looked at my phone. It was saying it's 19 degrees, but it feels like 7 degrees.
Yeah, it was pretty damn bad.
yeah. And D.C. is, right there. So, pretty sure it's not a lot of difference at all. So, for it being inside, it was a nice ceremony. His inauguration speech was great. I thought he was well spoken on it. I remember looking at Biden and Kamala as he's giving his speech. I'm like, damn man, this man is calling him out as they're right there. I remember seeing Biden drop his head at one point laughing. He was like, damn bro, like you can't wait to at least get out the building.
he had this little. Like I saw him, he was like shaking his head, covering his mouth, putting his head down.
Yeah, and it was good to see the presidents there. I don't know why I was surprised to see Bush there. And I was looking at him, he just looked lost at some point.
But he actually looks pretty good for his age.
No, he does look good for his age. I was like, oh shit, look at Bush.
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, damn, you don't look like
he aged much.
Biden looked worse than him, but I was like, damn. Yeah. But it was good to see Obama and all the other the Clintons there. But
Hillary Clinton was laughing at man. I can't remember what Trump said in his speech, but the camera zooming in on her laughing, like shaking her head. Oh, when he said Gulf of America, he's renaming.
Oh, that was a big thing there.
Yeah, that was a big thing. And then she just started like busting out laughing. I'm like, Hillary,
yo, she crooked, man. She's crooked, man.
I'm like, you lost to this man, and you just mad at him because he's serving his second term. He living your dream. But anyway,
that she tried twice.
She tried.
She's done.
She's done so. And then you saw that the big tech giants were there. Obviously, Elon.
My boy Elon.
Tim Cook.
Look, before I go out, my thing about Elon, I like the guy's products. He makes good products. The cars, the rocket ships, all that stuff is good product. I don't agree with everything he does, and I'm never going to agree with anyone on everything. Because I'm a human being, I got my own beliefs.
Absolutely.
But like, he has a good intention. Because he was the first one to really put this EV shit on the map. All right, so
he made it stylish. Like a Tesla's a luxury. I look at it as a luxury vehicle.
It's a luxury vehicle, bro. And a lot of people don't know this, but the whole Tesla fleet lineup is supposed to spell out sexy. The Model S, the Model 3 is supposed to be an E, the Model X, and the Model Y. That spells out sexy. So he made electric cars sexy, and people bought it, and he's dominating the EV world in terms of sales and all that. Fuck what you thought about all the other car manufacturers that are actually closing down their plants on making electric cars, but I don't want to get into all that. But yes, Zuckerberg was there.
Tim Cook, CEO of Apple.
CEO of Google.
He was there. I was surprised to see him there.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I was actually surprised Tim Cook was there. Because he's heavy on the whole, Democratic side stuff. I don't...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what we mean, wink. But, yeah, he was there. So I was like, wow, like, good amount of celebrities were there. So it was a good ceremony. But hold on, just going back to Elon real quick. I want to ask this question before I forget. Mm-hmm. With his involvement in politics now, do you think that will hurt him in the future? Like, oh, we're not going to buy Elon cars anymore.
It already started. I'm in a lot of Tesla forums and, because I'm into that shit. Like, I'm into tech. I'm into cars. I'm into, shit like that. So a lot of people are like, they'll put on their car, I bought the car before he turned crazy. Like I put a sticker on that. Or I regret buying a car, or like somebody will vandalize Teslas or whatever. So like to me, I find that to be very dumb and very hypocritical of a lot of people, because these are the same people that will run into the Louis store and buy Louis Vuitton. These are the same people that will go into the Gucci store and buy Gucci. These are the same people that will go into Starbucks and buy a coffee. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's very hypocritical, and it's like, if the product is good, then you should buy it.
Man, in New York, I'm seeing
Eric
Cybertrucks.
Adams was there too.
Oh yeah, Eric Adams was there. Yeah, we gotta talk about him.
Yo, I got a lot to say about him, but
I'm still seeing Cybertrucks everywhere. And I was actually driving through New York. I was going downtown, so I actually had to like go through the hood to get to where I wanted to go. I'm like, ain't no way that's a Cybertruck parked right there. I'm like, shoot, that man better have extra security guarding that goddamn car.
One dude got a Cybertruck on my block.
Yep.
I was like, damn.
So I was predicting, like, all right, in the short term, it may affect Elon in the short term. But as time go on, people are like, all right,
bro,
we're done boycotting Elon now?
The stocks are saying something different, bro.
That's what
like
I'm
that. Like people can shit talk all they want about Elon and whatever. The stocks are saying something different. All right, and if you don't have the stocks, hey, you missed out. You missed out. But honestly, like his brand is gonna be a $1 trillion brand, because
he's on his way.
If he's gonna put a man on Mars or a human being on Mars, like the sky is not even the galaxy is the limit, bro. Like, dude, that's gonna be history. And I didn't know, we never went back to the moon ever since the first moon landing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we never brought another man back to the moon.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, so he's studying up on that right now.
So I'm like, damn, if we bring a man to another planet, that's the first time in forever.
Wow. But like back to inauguration. Again, I thought it was good. And you know what's funny? Like after Trump talk all that shit about Biden and Kamala basically to their face, he walked Biden out to the plane. They seemed like they were cordial talking. Then when Biden got on the plane, they were waving goodbye. I'm like, damn, bro. He's like, yeah, get the hell up out of here. This is my reign now. This is my reign now.
I never seen Biden not happy to get on the plane, to get on the helicopter and leave.
He's like, man, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, I was hoping he didn't trip going up the steps. To be honest, I was like, yo, I hope he doesn't trip, because that's just going to look bad.
Yeah. Also, J.D. Vance, it was good to see him. I actually saw a video of when he entered the Oval Office. That was his first time. He was amazed by it. And, I think J.D. Vance is a good dude.
Yeah, he's definitely all right.
He's definitely different from Trump. He's a bit more political.
Yeah, he's a lot more political. He has that politician talk type thing that he got going on, which, again, we can't be surprised, because that's the norm that we see with prior presidents and vice presidents.
Yeah. And one thing I did love, though, I love seeing both of their families there, especially Trump has an army of a family.
Dude, Barron?
Oh my God.
Dude, he's like as tall as LeBron.
Yeah, he's lit. I think I read he's like 6'8". Yeah, he's 6'8".
That's wild.
This kid is tall, and I'm just like, man, like seeing this man family behind him. I'm like, boy, they're going to reign for years to come. You got Barron as young as 18, and his oldest is probably 40 something. Like the Trump dynasty ain't going nowhere.
It ain't. It don't seem like it's going nowhere. But what was funny was Melania's outfit, yo.
Yeah, I was like, man, what the hell is she wearing? Like,
bro,
it looked fine. The hat, though, I'm like,
yo, the hat was just like the craziest shit. Like, she looked like the freaking Grim Reaper in the background. Like,
it reminded me of the Mortal Kombat character that with the
fucking hat that's spin around.
I'm like, she just stepping out, but
that shit was funny.
Overall,
no, overall, like, we want to give respect to the presidency, right? Like, the man didn't just win the electoral votes; he won the popular vote. All right, so this is what the American people said. This is who they wanted. So whether or not you're mad about that or not, you got to accept it. There's a lot of people who didn't want Biden.
And accepted it.
And we accepted it. I accepted it.
Yeah.
I took it. You know, I seen the direction that he was taking it. I didn't like it.
Had no choice.
Just truck on through the years. Hey, next election came. We got another one. Hey, may not agree with everything Trump is doing, but hey, he's the guy. He's the guy that's in. Hey, we gotta respect him. I'm not gonna disrespect him.
And it is what it is, yo. Literally, it is what it is. So now I thought after inauguration, I mean, I don't know why I thought this because I probably, maybe I was living in my own delusion. I was like, all right, he's sworn in, he's our president. Maybe people will start to calm down on the divisiveness and stop with the name calling and stop calling black people coons because they voted for him. Maybe they were just like, you know what, we're just going to deal with it and see what he does. Hopefully he is successful because we all live in this country. If you don't like him, you're still an American, so you want the country to do better. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. I feel like the gap maybe got a little wider because now they just start to nitpick everything he did, nitpick things Elon did and J.D. Vance did. Mm-hmm. I even saw people talking about the facial expressions of his children. I'm like, it's getting a little ridiculous at this point, but maybe you got to give him more time. I just don't know.
Look, it's fresh. We're 3 days in. By the time this episode comes out, probably 4 or 5 days in.
But okay. They had months to prepare.
But here's the thing. He came prepared though.
Whew. Did he?
No, did he? He's still locked up where he need to be. But anyway, he came prepared, and we're gonna jump into these executive orders. He was signing them left and right.
In front of the crowd, in front of the reporters. He signed executive orders, throwing pens in the crowd. I'm like, yo, this guy, yo.
This was just like, it's insane. Like, to me, it was refreshing to see something different. Like, somebody came in and they put their own spin on it, right? It's like, okay, he seems like, he has a handle on what he wants to do or how he wants to, dictate his presidency. And it's like, that's refreshing. I feel like the next president now should, be a little bit more personal with the people instead of trying to be a politician. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think old age politics is, they're dead because Trump came in and basically just obliterated how politicians should speak, how they should act. I think, that's dead. I mean, we'll see though, because I think Trump is an anomaly. There's not going to be another Trump, and we'll see like how the Democratic Party and the Republican Party is afterwards. But I think one thing that both parties learned is like stop giving the same old talking points.
Yeah,
people are tired of that. Give us the truth. Mm-hmm. Be a little bit more assertive. That's what the American people want because it shows that you care about this country and you actually want to do something. I remember in the primaries, not to get too far away, when Mike Pence was running for president. They would just ask him, basic questions. He giving these slow, plain, vanilla political answers. And like, yeah, he's done. He's done. Get him up out of here. You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, this is something that you were probably saying for all of your life, and it just came off a script. Mm-hmm. That's not how politics is anymore. That's not how it is anymore.
Yeah, it's not. And I would say too that like we live in an information heavy age now. Like we all have the internet at our fingertips. We can all go Google, research something to find out facts, right? And for these politicians to go up on stage and kind of like, oh, and the American people, you guys need money. You guys can't afford this. You can't afford that. So I have programs. Okay, I understand the programs to help people, but it's also about enforcing policies that were once enacted before or with a prior president, right? Getting rid of it and making the economy work in a way where we end up getting more money in our pocket without the government having to spend more to give to us.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you know, a lot of these politicians think you just give out the money and expect everyone to be happy. No, because when that money runs out or that program runs out or other things start getting, you know, impacted or newer problems start arising, but you don't have the money to take care of it, that's when we have an issue, right? Look at what's going on in California. Look what happened in the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what's happened at the border. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we had proper policies, proper things in place, you know, where our money was going where it needed to count, I think the you know, before Biden left, the country probably would have been in a better place.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. And just to even, I know I said this off air a bit, but the thing that really kind of pissed me off, and this is coming, you may not believe me because of everything I said on, you know, on the podcast leading up to the election and, you know, how happy I am that Kamala's not in there. I voted for Biden and Harris, right? Now, I admit, I really have voters' remorse. I had to criticize them and come like, yo, this is not what you promised. This is not the America that we wanted. So now I was being ejected from somebody who voted for him. I'm here talking to people. And in New York City, they're everywhere. You know, it's a democratic city. A lot of extremists around here. The fact people weren't able to recognize we had a border problem, I said, it makes no sense to even have a debate with you, engage in a proper discourse with you. It makes no sense because you're just blind. I literally had somebody tell me, what problems are at the border? It's secure. I'm like, are you serious? Do you not live in the same city I live in? Where Eric Adams is talking every day how much it has become, how much of it is a burden to support the migrants coming over here shipping on buses, how his hands are tied because he can't put them to work. He can't he can't put them to work. He can't get them out the city. And we spent $6 billion.
That's insane.
Think about where that money could have gone elsewhere to help the city. But he had to put it all on the migrant crisis. Like, bro, I remember at one point you just see them outside lined up in sleeping bags. I'm like, are you not seeing this? But that's what happened when people are in this, like a part of this tribe, like tribalism, where they just put on their blinders and just do anything that either the left or the right says. It's like, come on, bro. Like, a lot of Americans voted for Biden. That's why he won. The fact you can't be objective and look at the state of the country, that's what really bothers me. And that's what I think, like, the country, I kind of losing faith that we would never truly be unified because it's this left versus right shit. The only time we could really come together for, like, this a war or, you know, what other situation we could come together?
Even a natural disaster. That's when people, and in terms of citizens, will feel like, oh yeah, those people need help. You know, it's sad. People house burned down.
Yeah, stuff like that. But to honestly tell me that there was never a crisis at the border, that the economy was great under his watch, it's like I'm losing all hope. So it doesn't matter who's in office. People going to complain.
Regardless who's people going to complain. And you know, New York is the number one city in the world.
World.
This is the number one city in the world. I don't give a shit what anybody say. There's no place like New York. No matter where I've been on this globe, I always have that space in my heart for New York. Like, there's no place like it. It's like its own world. New York is its own world, and like, without New York, America wouldn't be what it is. Straight up. We are the economy of the world.
Really?
Everybody, all countries come here to do business. All right? And if New York is spending $6 billion on a migrant crisis, that's the issue.
No help from the federal government. None.
That's a fucking issue.
And I know we're going to talk more about Eric Adams, but Literally listen to his Tucker Carlson. He did an interview with Stephen A. Smith and Tucker Carlson.
He did one with Tucker Carlson, Stephen A. Smith. They're both good.
They're both good. I listened to both of them today. Eric Adams said when he voiced his concerns about the migrant crisis and border security, the Democrats told him, be a good Democrat. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, be a good Democrat?
Can't make this shit up. Look what happened to Biden. Look what happened to Kamala Harris. You seen, they wouldn't even shake this woman's hand. She had zero respect. Nobody respected her. Nobody respected her. They did not want her to actually run, but they just did it because Biden was not fit.
He was not fit.
He was clearly not fit.
Biden forced their hand.
Yeah, Biden literally forced their hand. For them to pull a stunt like that, for her to run, and then the outcome that it became, Biden was the first and only Democrat president to receive the most votes when he won. I just can't. I
can't fathom.
I'm like more than Obama.
That's what I keep saying. More than he had 84 million votes. And I don't know when I'm hearing, I'm like, shit, if he got 84 million, Obama was at 100 million or something.
I'm like, there's no way.
There is no, I still can't believe it. I'm not a fan of conspiracy theories, but just think about as beloved as Obama was and is. As much as people look at him as a god.
I can't.
He got more votes than Obama.
That to me is insane.
Go look at the states Obama flipped when he ran. And I couldn't believe, I'm like, shit, he got Florida? You know what I'm saying?
He all sweet, bro. Alabama, all of them. He freaking sweep the nation. He sweep the nation. Rightfully so. First black president. Everybody wanted to get that, and we got it. Thank you. But if you told me when I found out Biden had more votes than Obama, I'm like,
there's something going on here. I'm sorry. There is no way anybody watching this.
Could be fraud. I don't know. Could be rigged. I don't know.
And Trump stood on that the first day too.
And he said that.
He like the election was rigged. I'm like, shit, bro, you in the seat.
It's like, yo, he could say, and I have to give credit to Trump for his inauguration speech where he called out everybody, the whole Democratic Party, the fact that they were trying to arrest him, the January 6th situation, all of that. He called it out and he said it. And it's like, if it was any other politician, they probably wouldn't have mentioned that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit for that shit.
Yeah, man. So basically all I'm really trying to say is at this point now, if you're an American, you want to have one president, and you gotta get behind him because he's represent us all now. Listen, when Biden started to fuck up and people have voters' remorse, even though you criticize him, you still recognize him as the president and was hoping that he would do good.
Look, the only thing I wanted Biden to do was cancel student loans. That's all I wanted him to do.
Yeah, and I knew that was too good. I'm like, man, that sounds too good to be true.
10 bands. Give me the 10 bands. If you can't give me the full 20, give me the 10. I'll take the 10. You know what I'm saying? I'll take 10, bro. Anything helps.
Anything
but no.
Well, no.
Couldn't do that. He canceling student loans for some, I don't know who. I'm on the internet. I'm trying to find who are these people that was getting their student loans canceled. Who were these people? He's another $1 billion and this and that, $500 million in forgiveness and this and that. I'm like, who are these people that's receiving this shit?
I don't know. I know a lot of.
I don't
students.
know anybody, but I was watching one video. I think it was MSNBC or something. They were saying that some people got a letter saying that the student loans were forgiven, right? They were hype. So you know what they did? Some of them got a check for like 10 bands for the money that they paid. They got like 10 bands, whatever. People was going on vacation, buying a new car, putting money down on a house, all of this stuff, paying off their credit card debt. You see what I'm saying? Rightfully so. You got this bread. Now you can, clean up your debt or whatever.
Right.
And then a year later, they got another letter that said, oh, you owe us that 10 bands. You owe us that $15,000. And people were like, what? Like, I got the... And they left it...
long gone.
They left it with no explanation. They were like, why? Hey, this is what it is. Boom, boom, boom. Pay us back. And some of them had to pay it back. And this one guy said, yo, I had to literally pay these people back the money. I was like, all of it was gone. He's like... You
clean up your debt to go back in debt.
He's like, I took my family to Disney World. Like, we celebrated. I'm like, what type of shit is that? That's fucked up. That is fucked up,
that's
bro.
That's a mob mafia mentality right there.
That is fucked up. But hey, that was the Biden administration. But, at the end of the day, we have to respect the office no matter who is in. Because at the end of the day, if we get invaded, we trust the president to do what's right to protect us. And all I know is nobody's around here trying to lose their life over some stupid shit.
Exactly. But yeah, bro. So speaking of Trump, as his whole episode really about to be, he did sign in some executive orders day one, as we talk about, live and in person. Yeah. Now, he signed too many for us to talk about all of them. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he probably right now signing some more.
He probably signing more as we speak right now.
But
probably some breaking news.
I know. So, but we just want to highlight some of the ones that got the people talking. You know what I mean? Like rollback of DEI programs. He pardoned the January 6th rioters. What else he did, bro? What else he did?
Oh, yeah. The deployment of the ICE agents.
Oh, yeah. Securing the border. Damn, that was really day one.
Yeah, that was day one. Another most notable one was classifying the Mexican cartels as terrorists, which
right.
To me, I'm like, why wasn't that done a long time ago?
Yeah, I don't understand. Man, I actually heard people complain about that today too. I'm like, damn, bro, y'all just don't want people to. Y'all just don't believe in public safety at all.
Yeah, that one I didn't really understand why somebody would have an issue with that.
Because you don't like if those cartels in Mexico, they also influence on what happens in America because they could ship drugs across the border. Because that's happened for like how long? Like
that's been happening forever. You
know what I'm saying? So like, of course we want to stop those drugs coming to the country. But anyway, go ahead, bro. Anything else?
So like I said, I'm gonna expand on the cartel part. I know the Mexican government has their hand in with the cartels at some juncture.
When I was in Mexico, locals were telling me that. They were like, they kind of feed into the cartels because it brings money into the city. But, that's what locals were telling me. I've been to Mexico a few times.
I mean, you got to listen to them because that's not our country. And we don't know their politics.
Exactly.
Right? So they're saying that. It's a high probability that it's probably true. I wouldn't put it past them. Right. But if the cartels are pulling up into this country, transporting drugs with an open border, I can only imagine how bad it is right now down there. I can only imagine how bad it is. So, this executive order classifying them as terrorists, gives the United States some more flexibility and puts, Mexico in the hot seat to getting that shit under control. Because from what I'm hearing, they're saying China's bringing in the fentanyl either through the Canadian border or the Mexican border. So it's like they're working with China, and I know the cartels are getting paid bank for that. And like fentanyl increase skyrocketed. Hundreds of thousands of people died from it.
Yeah, that's a dangerous drug.
So I think if people care about the safety of their own people, yeah, maybe tightening up on the border would be a good start.
Yeah, Trump is basically telling these countries, get that shit under control because it's affecting our citizens. You know what I mean? Bro, all right. Are you finished saying what you guys say?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Because I keep want to keep going off the other point.
Go on. I mean, this is it's a lot of shit that happened in the last 3 days.
Because when you said border security, it's just popping up in my head. How is this not a partisan issue? Like, why is it border security is a right-wing talking point and the Democrats don't agree and want to get behind it? Like shutting off the borders, deporting the criminals and people who committed crimes in the U.S. Like, why is that looked at as evil and such a bad thing? We are not a nation if we don't have border security and follow the laws of people who's coming into this country and vetting who's coming into this country. I just feel like that's just a logical thing to do. It's like, all right, people want to come into the U.S., but let's vet them properly and make sure they're not criminals and make sure they're not bringing drugs into the country. And basically just, have laws on what it takes to become a U.S. citizen to come into the country. Like, why is that such a bad thing? And the thing about it used to be a left-wing talking point. People, go listen to Obama. I know all y'all love Obama. Everybody on the Democratic side loves Obama. He deported more people than Trump. He set out his mouth. If you come into the U.S. and you commit a crime, you're getting deported. We are a country. Oh, Bill Clinton said this. We are a country of law and order. We will have laws for people entering the country. Obama has said multiple times, we are going to respect the border. So I'm just a little confused that Trump is basically saying everything Obama said. Why is that evil? You agree with it when Obama said it?
Because they didn't hear it. They didn't hear when Obama said it. You know
y'all voted for him twice. He was a two-term president.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I feel like when Trump had gotten his first presidency, and I'm not gonna lie, even me myself, I got more into politics. I paid attention more. I was like looking, analyzing certain things, even the wars, all the stuff that was going on. And I think prior to that, nobody cared about it. It was like, oh, who's the president? We don't care. We're just going to do our thing anyway and blame the cops and, oh, yeah, we're just not getting paid enough. Like, I think that's how the climate was when Obama was in and prior to Obama. Everything was just...
So nobody cared about policies.
Fuck the police. They always trying to arrest us. We can't get jobs. We always getting paid minimum wage, unfair wages, all that stuff. I feel like those were the major talking points, and that's the only thing people cared about. They didn't care about actually what type of policies is going in, who's actually being mayor, who's being governor, who's in the Senate, who's in, the House. Nobody cared about that. Mm-hmm. But now that Trump came in and he, kind of highlighted a lot of this stuff, and people were like, "Oh, he's racist, and he did this, he did that," blah blah blah. People were more like heightened to it, right? And again, I say that's a good thing because now it flipped the script. Mm-hmm. Because now the people who was against Trump the first term voted for him during his second term.
Man, I can't. The amount of videos I saw people who flipped. Especially I was watching a black woman who voted for Trump this term, but she said she was basically, and shit, I ain't gonna hold you. I was a part of that tribe too of like, F Donald Trump, he's racist, he's the worst thing. But now as years go by and you grow up and mature and you start to actually pay attention, it's like, damn, I was lied to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you just started to realize how much, I would say this for both sides, like how corrupt both sides are and how the media plays a big role in trying to manipulate our minds and telling us what's right and what's wrong. So I'm just kind of failing to see in regards to the border, why it's so wrong to have laws in place if you want to enter this country. There's a legal way to do it. Nobody's saying you can't come and migrate to America. You can't just hop over fences to be a criminal and commit crimes and stay here. That's it. And, you know, I don't want to hear the BS of like, oh, if you deport people, the economy is going to collapse. That means the economy would have collapsed when Obama was here.
I'm glad you said that. Because I was watching CBS or something. Business. I can't remember the name. But they were talking about the deportation and how it's going to affect the United States economy. Oh, these are people that were doing jobs that Americans don't want to do, blah, 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 blah. And with these people gone, who's going to do those work? You know, people, you know, companies are going to fail, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, think about it. You have illegal immigrants in the United States working in a corporation, a business, right? Getting paid cheap labor. Isn't that against the law?
And Obama insisted on that too.
Are you promoting unjust labor? These people are being paid less money to do dangerous jobs when they have no health insurance, they have no green card, they have no Social Security, they don't get these benefits like American citizens, complete benefits like American citizens. Okay? They're working under the table, right? So are you saying that, oh, we need to have illegal people coming in and doing our jobs for us?
That's what I'm saying. It's
like how wrong does that say? But the people out in the Congo or wherever parts in other countries that's, you know, in their country, they don't have those type of laws. They're getting paid 10 cents, 5 cents for mining and all of this stuff going on around in that country. But that's okay. That's wrong. But having illegals here work for these corporations for low wages is okay.
And that affects who?
I'm like, that makes no sense. That only affects American citizens.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we're the only ones that suffer, right? And it's even bringing those people who are working here more suffer because they're paying taxes when they go to the grocery store. They're paying taxes when they have to go buy stuff and they have to do things. They're paying taxes but getting nothing back. They're not getting nothing back. So if you really think about it, they're getting the shitty end of the stick either way you slice it. They have no health insurance, no nothing. I went to the urgent care a few months ago and I seen this Mexican couple that were in there. Dude was sick. Right? And the lady asked him, like, oh, do you have insurance? And he was like, he couldn't even speak English. His girl was there and she spoke English. And she was like, no, he doesn't have it. And he was like, oh, okay, well, you know, to just see the doctor is going to be $300. And then she was like, okay, all right, do you accept cash? And they paid her $300. Now, if that was me and I'm a citizen, I'm like, hell no, I ain't paying no damn $300 to see the damn doctor, bro. To tell me, oh, yeah, you are sick. You have this. Okay.
Shit.
And then now you got to go and pay for the medicine. You're not getting that insurance discount. You're not getting that. You're paying full price for whatever medication that gets prescribed.
Yeah, shit is expensive.
And it's expensive. So I'm like, these are the people that's really out here that's suffering. Like, yeah, they come here, they're looking for opportunity and all of that. But in the end, they in New York is hella expensive to be out here.
It's so expensive out here, y'all. So expensive. And then, you know, a majority of them that come to New York, you can't afford housing here. Shit, New Yorkers can't afford housing here. So what happens? Like Eric Adams was saying, they're paying for their housing. They're on all of these programs, credit cards for food. We end up paying for it. So that's just really the thing. I don't know like how this became just a Republican thing. I just feel like either you're on the left or the right, you should want security at the border. And, you know, and I was trying to think too, like, man, what is the number one issue that flipped this country red? Because I'm like, Biden was a terrible president, but I'm like, there had to have been something that people are like, all right, listen, I've been voting Democrat for my whole life, or, and I don't know the stats on this, but I feel like if you are an independent voter, more times than not, they vote Democrat. I guess, whoever's viewing this, check me on that. But a lot of independent voters that I see, more times than not, they kind of voted Democrat. Mm-hmm. But what influenced those people to come over here? I really do think it's border security. Mm-hmm. I just think when you see what happened in New York, Los Angeles, Denver, taking over apartment buildings, bro. Literally, and the mayor was like, hey, it's only a handful of complexes they took over. All right, how many doors each complex have? So how many apartments each complex had that they took over? You know what I'm saying? Like, and in New York, there was a time they were on bikes stealing people's cell phones. And we hear about that shit if you go to Colombia or Venezuela or something. Mm-hmm. Venezuela gangs, as Mayor Adams said, Venezuelan gang leaders in New York causing havoc and crime throughout the city. The people are suffering from this. So how can you not get behind deporting the criminals and securing the border? I really don't understand. And then you know what? We're gonna talk about this too. People want to say like, "Oh, black people that's voted for Trump or have conservative values or whatever, y'all just bending down to the white man saying yes, master." When literally you're not being objective or have a mind to think for your own. You're just following what any Democrat says, which means you're the real slave. You're the real person who's saying yes, master.
Oh, so they're saying that overall 17% of independents lean towards the Democratic side, with 13% leaning to the Republican side. So yeah,
okay,
most independents.
They've leaned Democrats. This election, everybody went red. Mm-hmm. I really do think border security was a hot topic. It was like, all right, y'all. Kamala is failing to address it. She's failing to address on how the administration mishandled it. We have to go back to Trump. You kind of left them no choice.
Look, the Democrats really messed it up. They really messed it up this time around because they lost their identity. Nobody knew what they really stood for because prior to Kamala even running, I ain't hear Biden preaching about abortion every single speech and stressing abortion every single speech. I did not get that takeaway from him.
Yeah, me neither.
When she comes in, that's all she talks about. Everybody's kind of confused. I think most black people voted for Kamala, the men and the women, for that thing, for those policies or the abortion policies and all that nonsense. And it just shows you, it just shows you how loyal black people are to the Democratic Party,
and it kills
regardless of what the hell they're saying.
Regardless.
And that's just like, it's asinine to me. It's like, I just don't get why. Like, put the parties aside. What is your real problem that's affecting you? Are you running around getting 101 abortions every week? Or are you over here struggling because milk is $10? Like what? Like what is it? What is your real problem?
I remember seeing butter for $8.
Like, come on, dude, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And I just feel now that Trump came in. Look, I don't agree with the guy. I didn't vote for the guy. I didn't vote in the last election. Y'all know that. I didn't vote. Y'all may say, oh, well, the shit that you're saying is leaning towards Trump. It's not even about Trump.
You can't. It's nothing that you could agree with Kamala, to be honest with
exactly.
You.
I couldn't, other than the child tax credit that she was trying to do, that was just a copy of what Trump was doing, and then the no tax on tip was a copy of what Trump was doing. It's like, you really don't have anything solid to stand on. And I'm like, look, I ain't voting, whatever, but the guy that came in, his policies made more sense than what she was saying, and Biden combined. You see what I'm saying?
Biden was out.
But what I find very interesting is that after Trump won and he's inaugurated, all the people that's running around crying, saying that we're going to end up with 2x on the fucking poverty levels in the United States. Nobody's going to get any grants. The world is just going to fucking end. We're going to be a third world country. None of that is happening. This is the United States of America, the best country in the entire world. And I've traveled to a couple of countries already, and I can tell you, I see why people want to come here.
How many times we say that?
I see why people crossing the border. You know, people die along their way coming across the border.
Yeah. All
people
the time.
get brutalized coming across the border, doing things that they shouldn't be doing coming across the border. All right? People die coming here, and I understand why. Because this is the best country to be in. And people could talk shit about the United States all they want. But when it's wartime, I'm confident.
Yeah. Literally, we travel frequently. We go out the country frequently. Every single time I come back home, I'm like, man, I'm so happy to be an American citizen. I'm so happy to come back home. The things we take for granted over here, luxury over in other countries. I remember I'm visiting an island. I won't expose the island. But then I remember at one point there was no running water in the showers. And then I go complain like, yo, what the water? I can't take a shower. They're like, oh yeah, that happens sometimes. There's no water in the
tank, or it didn't rain. It didn't rain. Yeah. Bro, we had the entire month of October with no rain. Did you have any issues with your water running? Were you able to take a piss and flush the toilet? You see what I'm saying? Like that's the luxury that we have that we take for granted. When you go to other countries, did the power cut out? Did you have no power for weeks to days? You know what I mean? That's the shit that we take for granted out here. And a lot of these idiots, and it's crazy because I met 4 people recently that told me they never traveled outside the United States. And this is recently.
Ooh, this is crazy. That's
recently. Crazy. They're not fucking 20 years old, 21. These are 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, 28-year-olds that never fucking left the country. Better yet, even went to the West Coast of the United States.
Man, they just in a bubble.
So I'm like, these are the same people that's going to run around and say, oh, yeah, America, we have all this problem, and in Canada they got free health insurance, and over there they don't have any guns, and over there, all right, then go over there then. Go to Canada for the free health insurance and see how well that's gonna work out for you. Living in Canada is even more expensive than living in New York. Like that to me out there is wild.
Canada, fuck.
It's wild to the point where they should be the 51st state. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out there that actually want that. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Make us citizens, please.
Like, come on, they begging for that. You know, that would be a favor for them. But it's like, you can't take this country for granted because we have so much. We're so much privileged, and a lot of people across the globe, not even in Europe, all right, with a whole Brexit situation and all that situation that happened, like. We had Brittany, what's the basketball player?
Brittany Griner, one of them.
Brittany Griner traded for a Russian terrorist.
Bro, Trump would have left her ass.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Trump would have like, fuck you want me to do that?
Like, come on. We can have shit like that happen for us. You think if you was in Venezuela, you think they're gonna be doing no trades for you? Because you play soccer? Like, and you're not even like the Messi or Ronaldo of soccer. You're just some average Joe. And you happen to play soccer. You think he's gonna be making any trades to get you back? Hell no. And that's the shit that I don't understand. People always want to shit on the United States when this country is literally the best country on the planet. Period.
Yeah, listen, people, y'all gotta travel, man. Yeah, because y'all. Americans sometimes don't know how good they got it. They really don't. We're the most sought out citizenship in the world. People dying, like Rich said, people dying to come here. People killing to come here. People willing to come here and take the dirtiest job just to be in America.
Just to be here. What did I was watching Griselda on Netflix.
Oh, great show.
You finally watched it. It's good, right?
I watched it. It's good.
One guy was like, one of her bodyguards, the one that she met that was washing dishes. He's like, yo, I came to the United States. You know, they talk how highly of this United States, and I came here, did all that work to come here, and then I'm washing dishes. He's like, back in his country, he wouldn't be doing that. But I'm like, hey, you came here for the opportunity. Look, he got paid, right? Came here illegally, doing drugs and all that. He got his money, right? Even though we don't condone that, but hey, why'd you come here? To make money. You came here to make money, and that's what happened to him. People come here for all different types of reasons, but they come here for one main reason is to make money, right? Or receive free money from the government,
right?
Because we have cities like New York, I'll pay them to be here, but I want to transition into something else because I have to talk about this, and this is regarding Eric Adams. I know y'all know that I give Eric Adams a lot of flack.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
I'm hard on this man, and I'm not hard on him because I don't like him. I'm hard on him because I need him to be like
shit better,
strict, like harder on, the resistance of, it's not within my power to do this. No, just do it, bro. Like, just do it. Say, we're cutting off it now. Like, we're cutting off the aid. We're cutting off this and deal with the repercussions afterwards.
Yeah. Right?
Because after watching the Tucker Carlson interview, the Stephen A. interview with Eric Adams, it's not until now he's finally telling us the challenges that he's facing. You should
have been knew this, man.
Exactly. You should have been saying this. You should have been saying this from last year, from the time the migrant crisis started. You should have been saying that. You know what I mean? You got to inform us to let us know the issues that you're facing so we can act accordingly when it's time for re-election, when it's time to all right, we need to vote these people out. We need to vote this out, put this person in to get to be able to survive better in New York. You know what I'm saying? He's up for re-election this year.
Ooh,
and one of his major opponents is former governor Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you see, again, you put me in a hard spot. You put me in a hard spot right now. Because it's like, I can't vote for Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you.
I can't put him back in.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like,
we had him as a governor, and look what the hell happened with that.
But people are going to.
But I'm like, now Adams is saying this stuff is like, bro, it's too late for you to be addressing all of these situations. He's saying, all right, for the sanctuary city, it's meant for people who were coming from, I don't know, other states, whatever. They come into this country, or even immigrants that come into this country where they are able to have these services just to survive, right? And I get that. I wouldn't want the sanctuary city to go away because it does serve a greater purpose.
When used abused.
When used correctly, right? When it's used correctly, it's actually beneficial.
Yeah.
And I get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the fact that it was abused for people illegally crossing the border and then coming in and then taking advantage of that law, where we have to spend $6 billion of our tax money to take care of them, it's like, damn, that sucks. He explained the reason why people was giving out those credit cards. He said, well, they found a small independent business that will orchestrate the distribution of the credit cards. And the reason why they put the money on the credit cards was because they had a previous vendor that was pre-making food and giving it to them, but the people weren't eating it and they were throwing it in the garbage. So they were saying, why are we going to continue spending on food that these people are not going to eat? Let's give them these cards so they can only use them at the local grocery store.
How the hell you throw away free food?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, well, give them these cards so they can go and only use them at the local grocery stores, bodegas within the city. right, within the city, right? And the idea was for that to, circulate the money back into the city. Meaning, okay, they're paying these bodegas for the card, and it made sense. So that way the state, New York City can get that tax money back. So it's not like it's a debit card that could just go on Amazon and buy whatever and run off to Philly and go buy whatever the hell they want to buy. They could only use it for food. And I was like, bro, that's the shit you need to explain when you're at your freaking conferences, when you're having your town hall meetings. You have to explain that to people. I watch it. You know what he does? He doesn't say anything else. Oh, the immigrant crisis is going to destroy this city. Like, motherfucker, you can't say that now.
Yeah, I can't say it now.
You know, you got to explain what is happening so the people know what's going on.
It's too little too late. This is the main reasons, really two main reasons why I don't think he's going to win. One, the damage has already been done in terms of you didn't explain none of this. It reminds me of Kamala. When she was first picked to run against Trump, she started off slow, right? We were complaining like how she didn't do enough interviews on Fox and opposing networks, but she tried to compact everything during like the final weeks of the election. It's like, bro, it's too little too late. People already voted at this time. Mm-hmm. People already made up their mind who they're voting for. Now, because it's election year, now you want to come out and say like, yo, this is what happened. This is why I had to do everything with the migrant crisis. But on top of that, people are labeling you as a Trump supporter. In New York. Like, if New Yorkers think that you are shifting towards the Republican side and think you support Trump and looking like you're getting in bed with Trump, they're not going to vote for you. There's too much extreme leftists out here. Too much extreme people who just believe in a Democrat. It's a Democratic machine. In order to run an election in New York, you have to be Democrat. Mm-hmm. To me, it's like if you're running on the Republican side, it's just like you just want to run just to run. Like,
you're just trying to get your name out there.
Like, let me just do it. You know what I'm saying? But you have to run on the Democratic side. So now, if New Yorkers think that you're just being more conservative, I don't see how you're going to win. And what you said makes sense. It makes sense. And calling out Biden, saying he got no help from the federal government from this immigration crisis. And then he said the president wouldn't even talk to him because he was now being charged with all this.
Mind you, they're both Democrats.
Both Democrats. Being told, be a good Democrat. Saying like, all right, if these people here, let me at least put them to work. Like, nope, you can't put them to work. You just got to feed them and shut up. Yeah,
he was saying, he wanted to put them to work to, clean the graffiti off of the walls, like to do something. I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, that's going to make the city look a little bit more cleaner and more beautiful. But, for the Democratic Party, and he said himself, the Democratic Party turned their backs on him.
He said that and turned their backs on working class people. And, which is true, but do New Yorkers want to hear that? My thing with New York is just that people in the city vote blue no matter who. And if they think you're going against the party, I don't see how they reelect you. I just don't see it.
It's just not. It's just they have a stronghold on the Democrat, just like California.
And what he's saying makes, and that I'm not even gonna lie. I listened to those two interviews, like, damn, bro, was I too hard on him in the beginning? Like,
that's what I was saying.
I was like, was I too hard? Like,
and that's the same thing I was saying. So now, and when I watched them, I'm like, okay, I get it. And I was surprised his path to becoming mayor. You know what I mean?
Oh my God!
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And it's like, damn, it's crazy how people, and I've had conversations with other people about Eric Adams, and they're saying, oh, it's the Republicans. Now, this man came out and said it was his own damn party that made it difficult for him. That made it difficult for him.
Whew,
so it's like, what is it now? And people are cutting him because he went to go to the inauguration, trying to kiss up to Trump to see if he can get a pardon if he gets convicted of the.
Well, some of that I think is true.
I'm like, okay, yes, some of that is true. I mean, you trying to show face, and when I watched one of his town hall meetings, and they asked him, "Are you going to the inauguration?" He's just like, I gotta see my schedule. I gotta check my schedule. This, that, and the third. I'm like, bro, you going to the inauguration? Just say you going. You know what I mean?
But that should be looked at as a good thing.
And the fact that Trump even acknowledged him being there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it should be a requirement for every elected official in the country to attend the presidential inauguration. Because politics and, ideologies aside, he is the ruler of the free world. He is the president of the United States. Show respect and then go and work with him. To say, like, listen, you're not a representation of my party, but you are the president. This is how I need help on a federal level in my city. Like Brandon Johnson, the worst mayor in the history of mayors, the mayor of Chicago. Man is a dimwit. He's terrible. He needs to go. But anyway, he should have been there. Like, listen, this is the struggles I'm facing in Chicago. Can I please get some help? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand why that's not a thing.
Yo.
Why that's not a thing? Like, pay respects. It's like, feelings aside. You owe a responsibility to the people who voted for you. Shouldn't you ask for help on a federal level to see how you can make your cities better? Chicago is going through it. Jesus Christ.
Yo, they better not vote. Yo, they better not vote another Democrat in.
I mean, my God, bro. Man should have been there before the doors open. He
should have been outside in a sleeping bag, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pleaded for help. But I'm just saying, like, how is there not a section for, like, all the elected officials, mayors, governors, to greet the president of the United States? Like, listen, either I voted for you or not, either a representation of my party or not. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations.
You gotta respect it.
You gotta respect it. And he could help you. Like, Trump said he's going to North Carolina and he's going to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is Democrat. But he's going there to help those citizens of America because he's the president of the United States of America. So I'm like, if he's going out there to work with the mayor and the governor on how they could stop the fire, even though he called them out, rightfully so, it's like, why is it not a thing to go to the inauguration? I mean, I just don't get it, bro. Like,
nah, because look, Gavin Newsom should have been there.
Number one,
the two top people that's supposed to be there. Well, three. Mayor Eric Adams, Gavin Newsom, and Brandon Johnson.
Man, that man is so... Brandon Johnson.
The three of them should have been front row. They should have been front row like, we need help.
We need help.
Yo, they should have been talking to Trump on that same day. Yo, what type of funding can we get? Can we get an executive order for, like, you know what I mean? Something ask him, like, yo, can we get an executive order to help our city out, blah, 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 and work it out. But you know what's so funny? Eric Adams is working with Tom Homan.
Yeah. Sat down with him.
Now everybody's talking bad about this man. Everybody's talking bad about this man.
Uh-huh.
But look who is here working with Tom Homan to get those illegal criminals out of New York
That's what
City.
you gotta do, no matter who.
How can you go against that? How can you be against that?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Because you just a loyalist to your party.
I really don't get it. That's like having a criminal in your house against your will, but you're like, nah, don't come and take him.
But that's literally what it is. I mean, New York is your home.
That's it. This is our city. We pay taxes here. Nobody can say this is not our city. We pay taxes here.
Pay taxes here, live here. We
work here. We live here. We buy stuff here. Like, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I really find it to be absolutely idiotic for people to think that because one person is in the opposite party, you can't support them. You can't work with them.
Yeah, man. You just need signs of maturity. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. And that should tell people. That should literally tell people how the United States of America is not so united. Forget your feelings on Trump. Forget about it. He won. And you know the thing about it too, like, people are acting like people didn't vote for this man.
Like, you guys voted for him.
Everybody voted for him. So I feel like if the elected officials see that he won because people voted for him, it is what it is. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, these officials, bro, it's all corrupt.
It's all corrupt. It's all corrupt and nonsense. But one thing I do want to mention is the amount of pardons Biden did before he left.
Oh yeah.
That
Man
to me was interesting because
pardon his fam, hopped in the helicopter, see ya.
like he pardoned his entire family, basically his whole staff, during Trump's inauguration speech. That was literally breaking news. And people were saying like, yo, that's such a low blow. Like, this man is literally being inaugurated, and you're in the background pardoning your entire family just so that this man, Trump, doesn't go after your family to lock him up. Even though those family members had nothing to do with a Hunter Biden laptop.
He like, just to be safe.
I'm like, that's insane. Like, that's insanity. That's insanity. How would it look if Trump had did that? Because one of his sons was being prosecuted for whatever deals in Russia or whatever it was. He didn't pardon his family. That means Biden is guilty of something. Because if you didn't do nothing, you shouldn't be having to give out a pardon for somebody who legitimately didn't commit a crime.
He's hiding something, bro.
So he's hiding something. And not only that, I want to say one major fact. One major fact. Biden pardoned 8,064 people. That's the most people ever. He's done the most pardons in history.
My God, how the hell you got time to go?
And it's by far. Trump only did 1,740. Obama only did 1,927. George W. Bush only did 200.
Damn,
but Biden did 8,064 people.
My God, that's like as soon as you get in the seat. All right, let me see who I could pardon. Pardon. They're 8,000?
8,000. That's insane.
That's insane.
You know, that's probably like, yo, that's literally an entire jail.